Well, it's the beginning of a new year here, and the first thing that happened was my Volvo. It had a problem once, about 4 months ago, when it was in the dealership. They said they had a problem starting it, and then, I don't know, it kind of cleared up and nothing actually ever happened about it. They said they couldn't find anything. Anyway, a couple of days ago, just before the new year, it was ticking over, idling, and it suddenly just cut out, and I couldn't get it to start. Then it started a bit and it kept cutting out, and it wouldn't run at all. So I had to arrange for a company to take it into a garage to see if they can find out what it was. And I couldn't drive it because it just wouldn't run. Anyway, they're coming in a short while to pick it up, but I tried it this morning and now it's running lovely. So I guess I'm going to have to let it go in there because there's obviously something wrong with it. Maybe they can read the fault code and find out what happened. It's starting nice now and it's just running as normal, but it certainly wasn't running the other day. This looks like some sort of intermittent problem, which is going to cause me a problem. Because no one will know what's wrong with it, unless this code, I think, tells us what it is. But this car, I've had this now for about, I don't know, over 10 years, I guess. It's done about getting on to 200,000 miles, and it drives beautifully. Unless, of course, when it's not running. So I recently had these new headlights fitted. So this guy should be here in a minute to pick it up. Well, certainly a beautiful sky this morning. Red sky in the morning, shepherd's warning, or whatever. And I think they're right, because the forecast for today is not good. It's supposed to be heavy rain later today, I think. So it's just as well they're moving this car this morning, though I suspect I'll be probably picking it up later today, or at least as soon as they are able to plug it into a computer diagnostic thing and decide that there's not a lot wrong with it. Well, this is the second problem for the new year. I just got in my Mercedes because, you know, I had the carpets cleaned and I was going to just pull it out from a place here where it's parked and put the mats back in. And this is what happened. Right, now I've got a flat battery, and that's the penalty from not using this car for such a long time. So I've got a Volvo that is now cutting in and out, not working occasionally, and my Mercedes, which is now a flat battery, so that's we'll have to charge this battery up today. That'll be the next job this morning, I think, once this Volvo's gone. Hello.
Hello. Is it that one? That one there.
Drive it away. Bloody thing's driving now.
Is it really?
Yeah, take it, because I don't want to go with it.
I can see it. So it started in drawings?
Well, I haven't taken it on the road. going right up there. The reason I wanted to go down there is so they can plug it into their computer to try and see if it tells what's wrong with it. The next problem is I went to start the Mercedes to drive it out to put the mats back in. It's got flat battery.
That's been used for a while, isn't it?
Yeah. Have we got a charger that's working?
In your shed.
Alright. See if you can plug it in and get it charged rather than jump it. We'll charge it for a bit, enough to get it going, then I'll use it probably later. Is it charging? And have you noticed the other thing? Mice have been in there.
What? In the car?
Look. Mice, isn't it? Don't know how long it could have been a long time ago, but I don't know. It's just the trouble. I just hope they haven't, because if they get inside here and they're eating cabling. I did have mice here once with the ATV, and they ate cables on the ATV. What's it showing?
Red equals charging. So it's charging.
Yeah. So we leave that for most of the day, and that'll be better than jumping it, I think. You know what nuisance about that? Look at that. That was in good condition, all that. That is mice, isn't it? Or what else could it be?
Literally a hole.
Sorry?
Literally a hole where they've gone through.
Well, that's what they usually go in a place like a nest, you see.
Yeah. Yeah, there's loads of stuff in there.
Can you see?
All of your heat covering over your pipes been eaten and everything.
What? Well, they've eaten it.
Yeah, that covering over your pipes all been eaten. It's all down there, all in bits.
Christ. That's all that stuff from there, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all stuff from there and this here. See that bit around the pipes, the heat covering?
Yeah.
That's all gone around there.
Don't know how long that's been like that, though.
No. It's not often you really need to lift it up, is it?
No. But I dare say it's been since it's been in here. Well, the thing to do now is to get some more of that poison and put it not in the car, but put it underneath.
Yeah.
I wonder if what the best thing to do with that. Have we got a blaster or something to blast it, clean it?
You've got the dog's hairdryer.
That might do it, mightn't it?
Blow it over.
Blow it all the way, try and clean it. I hope it's done no damage really to it.
When it's charged up, we pull it out in the light.
Yeah.
And then I'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, well it's been a morning with cars, so what have we been doing here? The mice have been at this car, so what we did, yeah, you blew this out, didn't you?
Yep.
Right, so we got a blaster, air blaster, and we blasted all the bits of, little bits here that have come away from where the mice are. But a good idea has been presented to me. This foil that's over there, we're going to buy a piece similar. See how the bits coming off there? Look at that. Look at that. Oh, it's terrible. Look. Anyway, we're going to put a new piece of foil in there to cover that, and then it won't really look like there's any problem, and hopefully the mice have gone away. And then we're going to get some cleaner and we're going to clean the engine out, because the engine bay is beautiful. It's virtually got no corrosion, but of course it's dirty and dusty. So we'll clean that out, and then we'll try and figure out what we're going to do with the Volvo, because that is another story. So I think when we get hold of the Volvo again from the garage where it's had an assessment, we'll know what to do. Meanwhile, we're letting the engine run on this because the battery was flat. But after a little bit of charging, it started right away. Sounds lovely, this engine. It's been running for about half an hour actually. It's ticking over. Probably put enough charge in it now. So, my Mercedes is okay now. I mean, it's had a flat battery, but it's running alright. So I'm going to clean the engine a bit and just patch up that little area where the mice had got in. That's really upset me, really. Oh, anyway, the biggest problem now is the Volvo, and the possibility with the Volvo is that it was either a problem with the wires with going to the ECU when the engine mounts were fitted and the engine was moved and turned, or it could be the fuel pump. If you look at the logic on it, the fact that the faults only happened once in the last 3 months, and it happened while the car was sitting still and the engine just stopped, and then after a while it started up again, and we could not induce the problem by moving all the wires about. It makes you feel and think that it is the fuel pump actually. So we're going to replace the fuel pump. I bought a new fuel pump, and we're going to take the car today down to Ben, and he's going to fit a new pump for it. So that's what we're doing there. Right, well, we're just coming up to Bennex, and it's a really horrible day. The Volvo's behind. Let's see if you can see it in the mirror here. And the most peculiar thing is the headlights. Tom's driving it, but the headlights went to side lights a while ago, and I'm not sure what happened. So I'll have to stop and ask him whether he turned them off. We're coming up to Bennex. They're back today from the New Year's or the Christmas holiday. I think it's their first day back. Nearly 2 weeks. And the radio stopped working in this car. Lots of problems here. Let's worry about the Volvo first. Did you turn the headlights down?
I didn't know if they were on or not, 'cause it was on 0.
Yeah, they were on, and now you turned them on to side lights.
Yeah.
Oh, put them back where they were. Put them back where they were. Yeah, that's it. They're all. That's automatic. Yeah. One thing I would just say, and I just wanted Tom to tell you because he remembers it better than me, was that what they had written on what they had said the fault said on that was that it was a communication between.
Yeah, you said.
Would that happen if it was just a pump? That's all I was. So that's what I'm saying.
And to you too. Right.
Bye.
See you later.
Thank you. Bye bye. So what exactly? Can you remember the words that he said?
I believe it was the wiring in between the DC and the ECU. Is it DC?
The DC was crank angle sensor. Because that most other sensors don't kill the motor. Two things mainly. The crank angle sensor, if it doesn't receive a message, it doesn't know what to do with the injectors, it stops.
Yeah.
And the other one, if pump packs up, that stops as well.
So
I can't get my head round.
What did he say he did? He said he did something.
The connections into the ECU, well, if they haven't disconnected them when they're done, the engine mounts would have pulled it tight and possibly damaged the connections. So it's crimped all the connections, cleaned them up, so they're tighter when they go in.
Fair enough.
And the message hadn't come up again. He said he was going to test it again, and
See what
he didn't
happens.
say anything.
Trouble is, it's very job to clip everything, because we're talking little pins like on a knitting needle, you know, a sewing needle.
Yeah.
That's the kind of sizes we're talking about, you know.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I mean, the other possibility is there are actually two problems,
Yeah, it's not unusual at all.
and that
Because you think how much stuff there is on a car.
Would the fault? It doesn't. What he didn't. We didn't ask. Did it say when the fault happened? Would it have said that? Wouldn't it on the printout?
No, it doesn't give you a time.
Oh, because I mean, it could have been. It could have.
not
What
that
I'm getting at is
sophisticated.
we could be being given the wrong information. It could be that fault was previously,
Yeah.
and that this had nothing to do with what
Yeah,
happened a few
and
days
don't
ago.
forget, you see,
I don't know.
when you get a fault, it goes into what they call a keep alive memory in the computer. It keeps it there, and sometimes they'll clear the code if it's never happened again on number of key codes, or sometimes it just needs to be cleared with a code reader.
We cleared it ourselves, didn't we, when I brought it up here?
We did.
And then it's only been driven, I count on my hands,
Yeah,
since that time.
hardly been driven.
And then obviously that new code's come up, which wasn't on there when we looked.
Right.
Because our one was no electric reaching fuel and bits like that, wasn't it?
That's right.
Not this one, which he said was
right.
on Navida.
Yeah. And the only thing is, it just seems strange they got two of these in stock, and I've rang another company and they've got one in stock. Aftermarket, still Bosch. See, that's the unit there.
Okay, so is it going to be an expensive job fitting it?
I don't know, I've never fitted one.
Oh,
That's the answer.
so that's a good answer.
Well, you know, because you see here, I reckon the tank, I reckon you've got two halves of a tank. Because sometimes what happens, the tank is plastic, and I had this trouble with an Audi A6, and they mould the tank so where the centre piece is a four-wheel drive thing, so they mould the tank so it's two halves like that. But you've got the pump on this side. Well, the fuel, it's got to get over on that side. They have that long lead which then is clipped on that side, so there should be two inspections. So that's why I want the fuel right low, because if I don't have the fuel low,
how much fuel
I've
is
got
in
to have to. I've got to have my hand in there, and I've got to somehow.
Well, hang on.
And I can't drain it because you see
Hang on.
there is
Okay.
no drain.
Okay.
You can't siphon it either.
Okay. So hang on. We've got a full tank of fuel.
You have.
So you can't siphon them.
So would the best thing now would be then?
You need to get a low. See, the only other way you see is if I undo that top, but the trouble is then I've got to draw that fuel out.
So I'm not siphoning through the fuel cap.
They're all anti-siphoning now. You try siphoning a motor today. No, you won't do it. You won't do it. They've got like a flap that stop you going in, like a little grid.
The only other way would be is to literally take out the back. I'm kind of guessing that's fitted through the back seat.
Yeah, it's usually, provided they're not stupid. Fords don't, for example. You have to got the tank, but that should be on that car. Because it's got that other line, there should be two big inspection.
Yeah.
You unscrew them and the bayonet. And have had experience before. The bayonet is a screw job, and because the tank is made of plastic, you go and do the screw top. Lovely. Go to do your job. You can't put it back on again. It's relaxed and it's expanded. Then you have to have a new tank.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to do that.
It happens. They haven't. I can't guarantee it. They're made of plastic, and when they're new, they're all together. There's tickety-boo, and over the time it creeps. And you undo the big screw, and you go to screw it on. The thing is expanded. You can't get it on again. That is rare. That's rare. I have got caught on that before. And I thought, well,
So hang on.
I can't believe this. You know,
well,
it's
then
marvellous.
I tell you what might be the best thing to do at the moment is we'll keep that.
Yeah.
Take it.
You need
I'll
to
have
get that down. I mean, I can do it. I mean, I can draw when I take that out. It's a bit messy, isn't it? You know,
And then
it's diesel. It'll smell.
keep that.
Smell anyway.
Drive it around maybe till next week.
Get it down.
Get it down in and see.
Yeah. Have the code been cleared again? Do you know?
He got cleared this morning by the
Did he
guy.
clear
I'm
it?
just going to see if it come back on or not.
Yeah, fair enough. Because we can read it too, can't we? And see about the same too.
All right. Well, we'll do that then.
I think
Maybe.
so.
All right.
I really want to be as low as possible.
All right. We'll run that for a bit then. Won't leave it here. We'll bring it back.
Well, I
I'll give you a ring.
tanks, but I'll have to draw it out.
No, there's no point doing that. We might as well just drive it. You want to drive it around?
Can do, yeah.
You brave enough?
Yeah.
Well,
It's only going to break down and start again, isn't it? So.
yeah.
Pump. I forgot to get the fuel
Well,
filter.
keep
Normally
it.
like to brace the fuel filter.
But you replaced the fuel filter on that.
Oh, you have? Yes,
Yeah,
I
that
was
was,
still clean. No, it's been done.
It's hardly had any mark.
No, it'll be alright.
It's probably not even done 1,000 miles.
No,
yet.
no,
No.
that'll be alright. That's fine. It's just I normally like to replace them when I'm doing punk. But if you already have done it, it don't need to be replaced. Don't need. I can easily drain, just take a little drain off the back and see if there's anything in there as well.
So it's.
I mean, for the sake of like a 5-guy, it might be worth just switching it out just in case it's a cheap one in there or something. I don't know if that would make any difference.
No, the filters today are pretty good all the way around. They have to be.
So it's about 30 years then you've been going today.
It's 39.
39.
We started in 1979, the 2nd of January
Is that
1979.
39?
2nd of January 1979.
I don't even think I was
Today.
thought about at that point.
No.
Well, you still. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's just 39 years.
Yeah.
I can't believe how quick we got here. That's the thing.
I know. Oh, that's the trouble with life, isn't it? It's over in a flash. Yeah.
Yeah, 39 years. And I started in the industry in 1962. I was only 12 and I'd just gone 13, petrol boy.
Yeah.
And that's when it was Castrol double XL. And
Oh yeah, that's
you
it.
get
XL,
a
yeah, you
thing
put it.
and put it in the,
yeah,
in
you
the,
pumped
in
it
the
in.
quart jars and the
Yeah.
pint jars and put it in the cabinet.
Yeah.
All that repair punches when it's crossed my tyres.
Yeah, yeah.
And we used to have to repair the tubes and with a vulcanizer
Yeah, yeah.
and the tank outside. And I don't know why the winters then, I'm sure it's even worse than us today. You have to break the ice and put the tube
it was
in
cold,
there
wasn't
and get the bubbles and do your patch and all that. That was my Saturday job.
Yeah.
Puncture repairs, and of course the lorry tyres when they had those split rims, which sometimes used to come off, didn't they? Never happened to me, but
Yeah.
and then work on the petrol pumps.
And I'll see you later, Ben.
Thank you.
Cheers. Right, so we'll take it back now. Let's see if it starts now while we're here. All right. I was going to have a look at that Chevette. I heard that somebody was working on the Chevette. No, you're working on this.
I'm working on this one.
Right, well, I've driven home and the radio's been working. I say that's not totally true because I tried to change the station halfway on the way home and the radio just went dead again. So I fiddled around with it a bit while I was driving and it came back on. So I've now turned the car off and I'll turn the car back on. see if the radio comes back on. I can hear the aerial going up.
It's not as reliable
Yeah, the radio's
as
on.
it can be. I think one thing that the government and Network Rail and the
Right, well,
is absolutely focus on the basic.
whether this could be anything to do with the mice, I don't know. Ah, it's just gone out there. That's just gone dead now. There you go. No, it's come back.
Thank you all.
No, it's gone dead again. I can hear the aerial.
And Bruce Williamson from Rail Future.
It's coming back in
It's
and
really
on
welcome
and
to hear from you.
going off.
5058 is
It's gone off again.
That very thing,
Is that a loose connection in the power, or is there a break in the power?
Of prices, if you can take the time to actually look at the different rather than one big one.
Right, we'll have to look at the connection.
full-time PA.
Turn that off.
Yeah.
We'll have to see if we can get to the connection of that. So it's definitely something to do with the... there is a fault, obviously. And it looks like power. Well, it's the beginning of the new year. Things are not getting any better. The weather is getting worse. Oh, and my Mercedes. It's not even fixed yet, I don't think. It's out in the rain. So what's happened?
It hasn't turned off, it hasn't turned on. It's scanning into a couple of channels, not all of them.
For the benefit of everyone here, I've got video of it going on and off and everything. I mean, I videoed it all.
Yeah.
So. Have you turned it off using that button yet?
Yeah, and turn it back on. See how we're going down. So going back up.
Why am I unhappy that this isn't a problem now? Because I've been proved... and I don't want any more problems. I've got enough problem with the Volvo.
Magic touch.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what channel we're on.
Let's turn that on. See what happens now. I was wondering if that wasn't shut down properly.
Before I'd done anything, I did run my finger down, so like pushing. Then I pushed out and pushed it back on.
Yeah, I'm
So
wondering
may
if
have
that
been
was
something
it.
there.
I wonder if that was it.
So there may have been something.
Because it happened when I pushed. I went to touch this to turn it. My finger touched that button. So I wasn't looking, you know. I went like that and turned it off, and then I immediately went like that and pushed it back on again. Okay. Right. Well, to sort of sum up, it's been a couple of strange days here, and actually, I'm sorry, but all this video's been bits and pieces and rather boring, maybe. But the problem is that well, I'm back in the Mercedes here, and it's not working. Well, the car's working. It starts. Let's have a look. Oops. Oh gosh, I didn't have it in gear, in park. Right, okay, the Mercedes is working. Everything seems to work on it. I mean, everything up here seems to work. Everything seems to be working. What is not working is the radio is intermittent. Power keeps coming on and off, and all these controls have just gone dead. But there must be some connection, because we seem to be able to get a connection between changing these and functions up here that only happen when these are in different positions. So I think all the wiring in here, I think what it is just no power coming to this now, to basically all the fans and everything. That's my guess. And this radio problem seems to be a problem with the power. So in conclusion, I've had mice come in here by the look of it, and I suspect this is what this problem is, and hopefully we're taking this out, we can solve this one much easier than the Volvo, which seems to be a problem we don't know. it's driving fine now, and I'm not too sure what to do. I've got a new fuel pump, and I'm not even convinced it's the fuel pump now, so I'm not too sure what to do with that car. Anyway, really, I'm getting to the point where I'd like to just get rid of the Volvo. I think I'll just sell it, and I've had so many things I fixed on it that I just can't face fixing any more on it. And my poor old Mercedes here, I just don't know what to do with this, because I don't drive it a lot now, because I didn't want to get it dirty and messy. I don't want to put all the dogs in it or anything like that now. But of course, by not driving it, letting it sit there, the mice came into it. And that is the problem. Big problem. Anyway, the year's started reasonably well. We'll see what the rest of it's like. Sorry for the boring video. Well, finally, as for the Volvo, let's have a look, see if it'll start. It's been out all night, and yeah, I mean, that's running okay now. Just normally. I don't think I'm going to radio, come on. I think what I might do is just leave it at the moment. Keep the fuel pump, perhaps. I've got it in reserve. Yep. Right. I think I'm going to go and have some Christmas cake and have a break from cars.